What if I told you that behind Hollywood's bright lights and red carpet smiles were whispers that never made it to the tabloids? Stories of secret affairs, hidden romances, and behind-the-scenes chaos that studios worked overtime to bury. These weren't simple love stories. They were explosive rumors that spread through casting rooms, late-night parties, and smoky backlot trailers. Some actresses were painted as dangerous, seductive, and too much to handle, whether the labels were true or not. So let's dive into 16 black actresses surrounded by the wildest, messiest, most unbelievable Hollywood rumors, and the real stories hiding underneath all that gossip. 16. Robin Givens. Robin Givens became one of the most talked-about actresses in Hollywood because her personal life stayed in the headlines almost as much as her career. When people speak about black actresses linked to many high-profile romances, her name always pops up because the media never leaves her alone. Her marriage to the heavyweight champion created a storm that pushed her into non-stop attention, and every move she made after that became part of Hollywood gossip. Studio parties, red carpet events, and interviews kept pulling her love life into the spotlight. Even harmless friendships turned into tabloid stories, making it look like she was connected to everyone in the industry. This intense spotlight shaped her public image, sometimes overshadowing her real talent. Over the years, she worked to rebuild her reputation and remind audiences that she was more than the rumors around her, but her place in Hollywood history stayed tied to the idea of a woman surrounded by powerful men and endless attention. 15. Nia Long. Nia Long earned a reputation for strength, beauty, and confidence on screen, but her real-life relationships often attracted just as much attention as her acting roles. Her name regularly came up in conversations about actresses who seemed connected to many big names, not because she talked about her private life, but because the industry watched every step she took. From early Hollywood romances to long-term partnerships with famous athletes and entertainers, she became part of a narrative that followed her everywhere. The recent scandal involving her fiancé pushed her into a new wave of media focus, making it seem like her love life kept crossing paths with the biggest figures in sports and entertainment. Even when she stayed silent, rumors kept spreading, building an image of a woman constantly linked to powerful men. Despite all of this noise, she continued to carry herself with calm strength, proving her career was built on talent, even while the world obsessed over her personal connections. 14. Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell became a familiar face in Hollywood long before people started paying attention to her personal life. But as her fame grew, so did the stories around her relationships. She worked with some of the biggest actors of the 90s, and every close friendship turned into gossip that linked her to more people than she ever confirmed. The drama surrounding her marriage added even more noise, and soon the industry painted her as a woman whose private world kept crossing paths with many powerful men. These rumors followed her from sitcom sets to movie premieres, turning her love life into a talking point that never seemed to fade. Even when she focused only on her work, the whispers stayed loud, almost overshadowing her talent. Over the years, she tried to shift the attention back to her career, but Hollywood kept replaying the same old stories. Because of this non-stop spotlight, her name still sits in conversations about actresses wrapped in high-profile relationship rumors. 13. Diana Ross. Diana Ross built an extraordinary life filled with music, fame, and unforgettable style. But her romantic history became just as legendary as her career. Throughout the 70s and 80s, she found herself surrounded by influential producers, wealthy businessmen, and global icons who admired her confidence and charm. Every relationship she entered turned into breaking news, and every breakup added another chapter to her already dramatic Hollywood story. The public saw her as a woman who moved easily through elite circles, collecting high-profile romances along the way. Some connections were confirmed, Others were only whispered about, but together they created an image of a star who attracted powerful men wherever she went. Even as she aged gracefully and focused on her legacy in music, the stories about her past relationships kept resurfacing. Her name remained tied to the idea of an actress and singer whose love life seemed just as colorful and unpredictable as her performances on stage. 12. Lena Horne. Lena Horne rose to fame during a time when Hollywood controlled every image, every headline, and every secret. Because she was stunning, talented, and constantly surrounded by wealthy producers and influential entertainers. The studios pushed stories about her personal life that made her seem connected to more men than she ever spoke about publicly. She lived in an era when interracial relationships were hidden and many of her real romances stayed private, which only encouraged more speculation. Hollywood insiders loved attaching her name to powerful men, and soon she became known as a woman involved in complicated love stories that crossed boundaries and social rules. Her beauty and confidence made her unforgettable, and every whispered rumor added to her mystique. Even later in life, when she focused on activism and music, the industry kept replaying the tales about her early romantic connections. Her place in Hollywood history became tied to both her groundbreaking career and the long list of whispered relationships surrounding her. 11. Grace Jones. Grace Jones built her reputation as a fearless performer, and her personal life matched that same wild energy. She entered Hollywood with a bold personality, and it did not take long for her to attract the attention of rock stars, fashion icons, movie directors, and powerful insiders. Because she moved in these fast, glamorous circles, people constantly linked her to different men, turning every friendship or collaboration into a rumored romance. Nightclubs, fashion runways, and film sets became the places where stories about her love life grew bigger than reality. Grace played with this image, sometimes fueling the mystery by refusing to explain her relationships. Over time, she became known as an actress who lived freely, loved boldly, and collected high-profile partners along the way. Her romantic reputation blended with her artistic identity, making her seem larger than life. Even today, people remember her as a woman whose connections stretched across music, fashion, and film, creating an unforgettable Hollywood presence. 10. Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks stepped into fame first as a model and then as an actress, and her rise placed her in the center of Hollywood's most elite social circles. With her success growing so quickly, the entertainment world paid close attention to her dating life, linking her to actors, athletes, musicians, and other influential figures. Many of these connections were real. Others were exaggerated by gossip outlets that followed her everywhere she went. Because she moved easily in both fashion and film, every public appearance with a well-known man turned into a story suggesting another high-profile romance. Over the years, her dating history became part of her public image, creating a narrative that made it seem like she was surrounded by famous admirers at every stage of her career. Even when she stepped into television producing, the old rumors stayed attached to her name. Her mixed world of modeling, acting, and Hollywood fame kept her tied to this reputation of being linked to many powerful men. 9. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell became one of the most recognizable faces in the world, and her dating history turned into a major part of her public image. As her modeling career exploded, she met billionaires, musicians, athletes, movie stars, and political heirs, and the media documented every moment. Some relationships were confirmed, others existed only in headlines, but together they created a picture of a woman surrounded by powerful men from every corner of global entertainment. Her glamorous lifestyle kept placing her at private events, luxury parties, and red carpet gatherings where photographers followed her closely. Every time she appeared with someone new, another rumor started, making her love life seem endless and mysterious. Even when she focused on charity work and business, people continued to revisit her long list of public connections. Over the years, Naomi became a symbol of beauty and power, and Hollywood tied her to the idea of an actress and model whose romantic world was as dramatic and high-profile as her career. 8. Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox built a strong career in film and television, but her name often appeared in the spotlight because of her highly visible dating life. As she climbed the Hollywood ladder, she formed friendships and romances with rappers, actors, and rising stars, and the entertainment press covered every detail. One of her most famous relationships pushed her into a non-stop wave of interviews, gossip, and public speculation. After that, every man she was seen with became another headline, whether the connection was real or not. Her bold personality and confidence attracted attention, and soon the industry labeled her as an actress constantly surrounded by well-known figures. These stories followed her for years, sometimes overshadowing her talent and hard work. Even when she focused on producing and hosting, the old rumors kept returning, forming a lasting image of a woman linked to many big names in entertainment. Her love life became part of her Hollywood identity, shaping the way people talked about her. 7. LisaRaye McCoy. LisaRaye McCoy stepped into Hollywood with style and attitude, and soon her personal life became a major topic across the industry. Her marriage to a powerful political figure threw her straight into controversy, and when it ended, rumors spread fast. From that point on, every friendship and business connection turned into a story, claiming she was linked to more famous men. Social circles, private parties, and industry events kept placing her near wealthy entertainers and influential leaders, and the gossip never slowed down. The media painted her as a woman who moved through Hollywood and international circles with ease, attracting attention wherever she went. Even when she tried to focus only on her acting and business ventures, the stories followed her, shaping a long-lasting narrative. Over the years, her name stayed tied to high-profile relationship rumors, forming an image of an actress who lived at the center of glamour, power, and nonstop speculation. 6. Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash became known for her beauty, her roles in hit films, and her unpredictable personal life. Her dating history turned into a major talking point because she moved through Hollywood with a bold, spontaneous energy. Her many marriages created a steady stream of entertainment news, and every breakup added more fuel to the stories surrounding her. The press linked her to multiple celebrities, some confirmed and others exaggerated, building a picture of a woman whose romantic world changed as quickly as her career. Her outspoken personality kept her in the spotlight, and every new project brought more attention to her private life. As the years passed, the rumors only grew, making it seem like she was connected to a wide circle of powerful and well-known men. Even when she stepped away from acting, the stories followed her, creating a reputation built on drama, beauty, and an ever-changing list of public relationships. Halle Berry. Halle Berry became one of Hollywood's biggest names, but her personal life attracted just as much attention as her films. With her beauty, fame, and long career, she crossed paths with many influential men, and the media followed every relationship she entered. Her marriages, breakups, and public custody battles kept her name in headlines for years, creating a picture of a woman whose romantic history stretched across actors, musicians, and industry insiders. Even simple friendships turned into stories, feeding a long chain of rumors that made her love life seem larger than reality. Fans admired her talent, but the entertainment world kept focusing on her private struggles, sometimes overshadowing her hard work. Despite all the noise, she continued taking strong roles and building her career, yet her name remained tied to a dramatic dating history that Hollywood never stopped talking about. 4. Diahann Carroll. Diahann Carroll broke barriers in Hollywood, but her romantic history created just as much conversation as her achievements. She became involved with powerful entertainers, wealthy businessmen, and influential figures. And her long affair with a married music icon placed her at the center of public drama. Hollywood watched her closely, turning every relationship into a headline and linking her to many prominent men throughout her career. Some stories were true, others were exaggerated, but together they created a reputation that followed her for decades. Her elegance and charm made her unforgettable, and every new connection sparked another round of gossip. Even when she focused on her groundbreaking roles, the world kept revisiting her private life, blending her talent with the mythology surrounding her romantic past. Her name stayed tied to a list of high-profile relationships that shaped how Hollywood remembered her. 3. Pam Grier. Pam Grier became a legend in 70s cinema, but her romantic life turned into one of the most talked-about parts of her story. She dated comedians, athletes, musicians, and actors who were among the most powerful men of their time, and each relationship added more attention to her already rising fame. Her connection with a famous comedian created headlines for years, and her romance with a basketball superstar became another chapter the media loved to revisit. Because she worked closely with strong, influential male leads, the public often linked her to more people than she ever confirmed. Hollywood painted her as a woman who moved through glamorous, fast-paced circles where every meeting became a rumor. Her beauty and confidence fueled the fascination, turning her love life into part of her star persona. Even as she shifted her focus in later years, the stories about her past romances stayed alive, shaping an image of an actress surrounded by big personalities and non-stop attention. 2. Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge lived inside the toughest version of old Hollywood, where every move she made became part of a dramatic story. As one of the few black actresses who broke into elite circles, she found herself surrounded by producers, directors, and wealthy entertainers who admired her beauty. Some relationships were real, others were whispered about behind closed doors, but together they built a long chain of rumors that followed her throughout her career. The pressure of the studio system pushed her into complicated situations, including secret romances that could never be public because of the era's strict rules. The industry loved attaching her name to powerful men, turning every private moment into a public tale. Over time, her romantic life became tangled with her professional struggle, creating an image of a woman constantly pulled into high-profile connections. Even decades later, her name remains linked to a dramatic, rumor-filled history that shaped her legacy. 1. Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt created a life full of glamour, power, and controversy, and her dating history became one of the most fascinating in Hollywood. Her unique beauty and fierce personality attracted politicians, billionaires, global leaders, and entertainers who admired her bold spirit. Some of her rumored romances involved men from the world's most elite circles, and the mystery surrounding these connections made her love life legendary. Because she traveled internationally and performed for royalty, every friendly interaction turned into speculation. Hollywood insiders whispered stories about powerful figures competing for her attention, and newspapers repeated these tales until they became part of her public identity. Even when she focused on activism and performance, the world stayed obsessed with the long list of wealthy and influential men linked to her name. Over time, her romantic reputation grew into a symbol of independence and unpredictability, fitting perfectly with the larger-than-life persona she carried throughout her career. When you peel back the glitz and the glowing headlines, you start to see Hollywood for what it really is, a place where rumors travel faster than truth, and a single whisper can rewrite a whole career. These actresses didn't just survive the gossip machine. They became part of the stories people still can't stop obsessing over. But here's the real question. How many of these tales were born from jealousy, power games, or a system that loved to sensationalize black women? If you want more deep dives into the scandals Hollywood hoped you'd ignore, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stick around. You never know which buried story we're uncovering next. So, are you ready for the next secret they never wanted you to hear?